everyone, I'm Julia and we are the Green Team and our company is Pig Care. Our mission is to offer our client a way to effectively reduce antimicrobial resistance and increase profit in swine production. So PIG stands for Prevention, Innovation and Gratification. Well, as we all know, today antimicrobial resistance is a huge problem, and a big part of it is due to the amount of antibiotics that are used in swine production. Well, there is this estimative that by 2050 actually, that one person will die every 3 seconds if AMR is not tackled one right now. And actually, the problem of antimicrobial resistance, like I said, a big part of it is due to animal production, because 70% of antibiotics are actually consumed by animals, and only 30% are consumed by humans. And also, today, pharmaceutical industries are not really investing in the development of new antibiotics. Only 5% of their capital are invested in new antibiotics. So our solution is to reduce the use of antibiotics. And, well, Brazil is a huge animal producer, and we are actually the fourth biggest producer in the world. And a lot of our production is exported to other countries. And a lot of countries from Europe, for example, they have themselves forbidden the use of antibiotics in their farms. And Brazil still uses, most of our farms uses antibiotics in their production. So there's a huge pressure from the outside market and also from our own Brazilian customers to reduce the use of antibiotic in our production. So we need to innovate and reduce the use of antibiotic, but also increase our profit. No one wants to reduce profit. We want to reduce antibiotic and also increase profit. Our solution is this. We want to early detect infections in animals by monitoring changes in vital signs and also sneezes and coughs, and then provide isolation for that animal and then individual treatment. What will our device detect? Heart rate, respiratory rate, body temperature, and also sneeze and coughs. This is very important because a lot of the infections that are presented in swine production are from the respiratory tract. So this is very important. And then all of this information will be sent to a software that will then show that information to the producer. So basically, like I said, the software will send an alert, and then that pig will be isolated and only that pig will be treated. That equals a less large-scale antibiotic use. Well, nowadays, whenever one pig is sick on a farm, all the pigs receive antibiotic for prevention and food and water, for example. This is why it obviously increases a lot the chances of developing resistance. Yesterday, and a lot of people obviously have this question, pigs are agitated animals and they might get stressed, so some people might wonder, won't this stress and agitation maybe trick the software into thinking that there's an infection when there's no infection happening? We can assure you that our software will know the difference. That will not happen in our device. Our market. Well, the Brazilian exportation market per year is huge. It's about $1.6 billion per year. So basically our market has a lot of money to invest, and Brazil is the fourth largest producer in the world of animal meat, of swine meat, sorry. And we want to start in our state, Paraná, because Paraná is responsible for 21% of the swine production in Brazil. And also Paraná spends per year 28 million reais in antibiotics used as growth promoter, which we will also reduce. This is how we will do it, with the pig tag. That's our product. How is it going to work? It's actually very simple. This device, it's very small, about 6 centimeters
in diameter.
And we will place it under the arm of the pig. And then this device will monitor all of those signs that I previously said and send it to an antenna, which will send it to a software in a computer to the producer. So the software, it has two different alerts. If one of those signs is altered, you get a yellow flag. If two or more signs are altered, you get a red flag, and then you have to immediately find the pig, locate the pig, and then isolate it, and then the producer can decide if what he'll do to that pig. The technology. Well, this is the device. This is what's inside the device. Outside we have this biopolymer, and which will encapsulate all of the technology. Then we have this structure that will protect the technology from any possible damage, mechanical damage. And then we have these three parts: the motherboard, the battery, and then three sensors, an accelerator which will detect the coughs, sneezes, and respiratory rate, a heart sensor, and the temperature sensor. Then here we have a cap, and then the sticker. This sticker is what's going to stick the device to the pig. This is our estimation of the production cost. The software will cost about $5,000, and the cost of production of the tag will be $12. This tag will be reusable. As you can see here, it's all in small parts. So what the producer will do is he remove this part, and then reuse it, and we'll provide a new sticker so that it can be reusable. These are our main competitors: production without the use of antibiotics, use of probiotics, which does not exclude the use of antibiotics. Antibiotics are also used here. Isolation and testing of the microbial or pathogenic agent, which is not really used. And the detection of pathogens in feces and urine, which is not really used. But as you all can see, none of these competitors are providing what we're providing, which is monitoring the pig. None of this provide that. So actually, we see them more as partners, because you can use our product along with all of those. Our plan of business is a B2B, business to business. We plan on selling our product to another business. And we divided it in 3 different phases. The phase 1 will be perfecting the prototype, which we think will take about 6 months and will cost $8,900. Then the phase 2 will be testing. We'll do the testing in 3 different farms, and it will be a case control kind of study. We'll compare the pigs that are being created in our system with the pigs that are being created in the standard system that is used today by most of the farms. We estimated in about 10 months of duration and about $4,500. Phase 3 will be the selling. Our beachhead will be one of the biggest co-ops in Paraná, and it will take about 12 to 18 months and cost about $554,000. But how are we going to profit? Well, we plan on charging 100% on each sticker, and also we plan on charging a one-time installation of the software and a licensing per year as well. So each year you have to pay an amount of money to keep using our software and also to keep getting automatic software updates. We will send stickers so that the producer can reuse the tags that they already bought. And it is a green product because it is reusable. We do not throw it away unless it's damaged. Well, we can assure you that our product will reduce the use of antibiotics and also increase the profit of any farm. So that's our presentation. Thank you.
Congratulations. There are many things to say, but I will start with one. It is that the motivation. Julia is very motivated with the product. She's excited about it. You all have to be excited about your idea. Because if you are not excited, who else will be? So she's passionate. She speaks like she really wants to make it happen. So that's very important. That's the way you sell your product. You sell your idea. You sell you as a professional. That's important in life, Julia. So congratulations. Yesterday, Pia, you've done very well also.
Thank you. I think she
So
did better.
but you have this facility with English, which is a very strong point for you, because they're going to be international tourists. So the other teams has to think about this as a way to improve. Oh, we need to communicate better. We need to practice English. There are not many words that we are going to talk, and then if we are not able to talk in the discussion, that's another problem. But I have to comment some things. Please come back to the first slides. The slides improve a lot also. It's communicating very well.
Which ones?
Here, go to the first one.
First.
I'm not sure that we can use the stand for biodesign logo.
Okay.
Because we're not officially a biodesign program. We are affiliated. So it looks nice, but I think it's better not. Only stay with the hypo. Second one. This is very good.
We were going to take it off down here too, but we didn't have much time, sorry.
Okay, no problem. Next one. Here, this one communicates. I was kind of thinking if it's really necessary to have all those words, or if you're going to do just some pop-ups.
Yes, we can do pop-ups.
Just to do some flash. See, there's many information about this. Okay, and the next one. This one, I think you can also do a flash and have these figures bigger. They're very useful. They're very communicate. Julia told very good about them. But if they're larger, the audience can look at better.
Do you think we can have one on top of the other?
Yeah. Just okay. That's okay. Next one. This is very good. Someone might make you this question. But if you have sneezes and coughs, you might have flu and not a bacterial infection.
And that's why this slide is so important. Because we're planning on using AI for the software that will learn from the pigs, but also we're going to program the software to have certain parameters set.
Okay. Higher temperature and higher heart rate will be more probable to be a bacterial infection.
Well, no, we don't want the software to tell you whether the pig has an infection or not. That's not the function of the product.
Okay.
The function of the product is to tell you when one vital sign changed or more than one changed. What will be analyzed, whether the pig has an infection or not, like Julia said, will be when the producer will decide what to do with the pig. Especially since they are the ones living with the pig day by day, and they can recognize the symptoms better.
It will only flag, and then the producer
Visual flag,
decide.
yes.
It's very important to have at least one slide showing a mock simulation of what this software will tell.
We wanted to do that too, but we didn't have time.
Okay,
Yeah.
but you will. You have 2 weeks now.
Yes.
this is very important. This is kind of data that all of you has to have. I know that some data are harder to find, especially when it's human health. But up to a few weeks ago, we thought that this data was also very hard to get. And you even get the data from the antibiotic use. Where did you get that from?
Okay,
Just
so
a curiosity. Can you tell
João,
that?
who was the most magical person that exists
Okay.
in this world, found an Embrapa study on the entire Brazilian market. So this number isn't actually, like, we didn't find it
From
by
Embrapa.
Paraná, but we found it's a number for all of Brazil. And when the study was done, Paraná represented 16%, so we did the
Okay.
conversion.
Okay. João, please give me that study. Send it to me right away. Promise. Okay? Next. This is fantastic. This is the big tag. It's very appealing. It looks like, wow, that's great. Look how cool the name is. So, yeah, let's talk about the big tag, right? And I am still a little bit confused. If you're really not confused, but a really bit incredible. If you're really gonna make it for $12,
$12
is this the cost or the selling price?
Like I said, it's the cost, and we will be selling it with 100% profit. So we will be selling it for $24.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Considering that it's also going to be reusable.
Yes.
But there is one magic thing in business. You can use a different approach. You can say to the producer, we are going to give you the tax, but you have to have the software. You
We
cannot do
plan on
anything
charging
without.
both.
Yeah. But be careful. Discuss this strategy with some real market men, some real businessmen, because sometimes it's much more attractive. I'm gonna have to pay the software and still pay the tag. I'll have to pay $5,000 up to 200 animals, and if you go from 200 animals for 1,000, you have to pay $6,000. Something like that. Discuss this. This is very common. Where are our market girls? This is very common in labs. You do rents. If you have this many animals, you're gonna charge this. If you have that many, you're gonna charge a little bit more, and you will give you the tax. You're not giving. It's implicit in the costs. João is gonna make how do you say planilla? Sheet.
Spreadsheet.
Spreadsheet. He's gonna make a spreadsheet with all the costs, and then we'll be able to tell you. Okay, but that's probably.
We already have that. Do you want to see it?
Yeah, later on.
It
Later on.
exists.
Okay,
It's
next.
the last slide.
Cost of the software, cost of protect. The cost of the software is the selling price.
No,
No,
like we said,
cost
estimates
of
of
Cost of
production
production.
costs.
Okay, that.
Yep.
All right. Oh, yeah. I was thinking about this because you really don't have competitors that can fit in a comparison. But
Yeah.
I
We
was
are the
thinking,
only one that can do
yeah,
that.
but
We're creating a new
can you
market.
make a diagram and say this has no, and ours yes.
Yes,
It's
we can do
still
that.
impacting. And you said they're not exactly competitors because their product is not the same, but look, our product with all this and these others doesn't do. At least they will do something like reduce antimicrobial usage in probiotics and prebiotics. You can think about this, okay? I already talked too much.
It was a very nice presentation. I just want to suggest you to tell the audience how it's done nowadays before you present your product.
Got it.
Because here you just said after you have presented, so then you came up with your product as the solution.
You've been giving feedback for 7 minutes, I think. So yours minus 7.
7.
7 minutes.
So it's 12 minutes.
Okay, congratulations, you have talked a lot yesterday, so I'm proud you got some points and I'm proud of you.
You're a big dad.
Yes.
Big dad.
We have 6 teams here, of course, we have 2 teams that are working in the veterinary field,
It's natural.
so it's natural. Well, one I missed it here is how much is gonna save on antibiotic use for producers? Okay, because you say it's gonna cost $24 per pig, but how much antibiotic you're gonna save? That's the point. Of course, if you save $10, I don't want your product at all. So that's important. I know you just cut off the slide about the gradual
Yes.
reducing antibiotic use. I don't know why was that.
We thought that maybe we got some feedback yesterday that it wasn't a part of the solution. It shouldn't be included in the solution, so we took it off. But it's still, like, we didn't delete anything, so it could very easily be put back in.
Okay, so I don't know if it's necessary right now on the beach, but if you take that thing in account, we should be in mind that when you just cut off on a limited antibiotic use, your product is in very disadvantage because you're not going to cut off all the antibiotic use. So
Yeah, that's exactly why
at
we
the
don't.
beginning
Yeah.
it will be a problem.
So that's why we don't have a number yet, because we haven't decided, we still have to talk to you and more people that are vets to decide at which point exactly in the life of the pig we can cut off the antibiotics. Because we know that we're not gonna be able to reduce them 100%, that's not gonna work. So,
Okay.
yeah, so,
Maybe you can think about some kind of solution, like at the beginning you give you the tags, and after the things getting better, you go on cutting off more and more antibiotic use. You can go further and make more profits. Okay. Just one more thing. Is the tag slide
Tag slide.
the first?
This one?
No, this one. We talked yesterday about the number. It's very, very important so you can find out the sick pig or the supposed sick pig. And I don't know, we don't have the tag here naturally, but we can see over there. And this number is very small to the one who's going to look for the sick pig, and that's very important. I don't know, you can make much more or less numbers. We don't have, I don't know how many numbers you can.
100,000.
You have maybe 100 or maybe 1,000 pigs. So the number size is very important, as we talked yesterday.
We came up with, you mentioned this problem and we came up with 3 options, but we didn't say it because we're not sure. But we thought about either GPS, so we can find it by GPS, or maybe the tag will, like, it would have a light or maybe a sound that you can activate by the software so that you can easily find that pig. But we're still working on that, that's why we didn't put it there.
Okay, but if you go for the numbers, must be bigger,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't have to have 8 digits.
I think
Okay.
that this number wasn't really meant as like an identifying
Yeah.
number, more like a serial lot number. So we know like the production of the tag, if it's like a faulty tag.
oh, okay. It wasn't really like an identification number, more like, you know, lot numbers on any products that you have, something like that.
I understand
it could be more
that
realistic.
the important thing here is to identify the animal.
Yes.
So, that's important. Thank you, congratulations again.
I just have a question. Yesterday you were asked about the stress when peeling off this tag. So why you cannot remove this after the pig is killed?
That was because we wanna be able to reuse the tag, and in the slaughter process, it's very quick. There's no time for you to stop and individually take each tag. So what we're gonna do is, take just that bottom sticker part off, that's gonna be kept on the pig, and the rest is gonna be removed.
So maybe you can just say this in the presentation, just to have an idea?
Yes, because we're planning on making the glue dissolve within the natural process of the slaughter.
Some friends want to speak. Some fellows.
Não, eu tenho uma pergunta que eu vou fazer em português mesmo, porque, sei lá. Vocês falaram da parte de IA. Então, tem algumas partes ali da apresentação. Quando vocês falaram de IA, eu sou de TI, que eu fiquei bastante curioso, mas tem algumas coisas ali que para mim não fazem sentido nenhum. Quando vocês falaram que a ferramenta de vocês não vai errar, isso se deixou bem claro na apresentação.
Não.
Foi isso que você falou.
Não, eu falei que vai saber a diferença de um estresse, de um susto, de uma possível infecção. É óbvio que vai errar, né? Não é, nada é 100% perfeito.
Ótimo. Então talvez isso não tenha ficado assim tão claro. Porque se você tem lá uma IA qualquer, ela sempre tem um percentual de erro. Se a tua IA afirma que acerta 100%, você tem um overfitting e ela não funciona. Isso é bastante claro. A minha segunda pergunta é, se você tem uma IA, você precisa treinar essa rede. E para treinar, você precisa de dados. Então, de onde que você vai tirar, por exemplo, dados de espirro do corpo?
Então,
Para poder fazer esse treino?
inicialmente, a gente vai colocar parâmetros para ela saber. Mas ao longo do tempo, ela vai coletando dados e ela vai aprendendo. Mas inicialmente, vai ter parâmetros.
E daí tem a fase de teste.
Toda aquela fase de testes e a nossa primeira beachhead também, isso tudo vai ser ajudar na coleta de dados, que daí, por exemplo, cada atualização de software, isso é atualizado para todos os softwares. Mas no começo, realmente, né, a gente vai ter que estabelecer esses parâmetros e quanto mais dado tiver, mais fino vai ser essa detecção.
Então, de verdade, vocês esperam ter uma ferramenta realmente funcional em 5 anos, e não imediato.
É 1 ano e meio, eu acho que é, né? 1 ano e meio a 2 anos.
Eu tenho uma pergunta sobre a cola. Vocês falaram que vocês vão fazer a cola, agora que eu entendi que ela vai ser retirada da cola e vai ser colocada outra para colocar em outro corpo, mas vocês falaram que vocês vão colocar debaixo do braço. Apesar de ser um lugar totalmente escondido, porque do corpo deita para cima os coleguinhas podem arrancar, como é que vocês vão lidar com o suor e com a gordura produzida naturalmente pelo corpo do porco?
Pode falar.
Então, ela vai ser metade cola, metade biopolímero. É um biopolímero que a gente vai adaptar as proporções para virar mais uma cola do que um biopolímero. E ele tem o ponto dele derreter é de 60 a 65 graus. Então ele vai derreter só na hora do abate. Porque se a temperatura do porco chega a 60 graus, ele morreu já faz tempo.
Tá, mas é a gordura. Mas que ele resista ao calor do corpo e não esgrude tão fácil, você ainda tem a gordura produzida pelo corpo. O suor, que é líquido, né? Misturado com vários sais.
É que sim, o principal
É que assim, no processo de abate, depois que é feita a sangria, ele fica cerca de 8 minutos dentro tipo escaldando. E daí, por isso, essa temperatura que a gente vai usar como a temperatura de dissolução. Então não vai ter relação com outro tipo
Quando
de...
estiver vivo.
Então a gente vai verificar, na verdade.
Bom,
A gente não tinha
é uma boa
pensado
questão pra gente
qual é o
verificar.
funcionamento da gente desenvolver algo poroso, para que possa ter essa troca de água, de líquido, tudo
Que não mate o porco caso ele come.
Exatamente. Isso.
Great. É sempre bom ter bastante mentes pensando e comentando. Mais alguém? Ok, congratulations, Green Team. Purple. Pessoal, foi sugerido a gente fazer um coffee break, mas o único café que está aberto é lá o da arena, então nós vamos tocar direto. Faltam 3 times? Ou 2? Faltam Purple, Blue e Red.
melhor, sei lá,